Hello, my name is Jake. I'm one of the committee members up here at the Manx Airsoft Club, and today we're making a short video going over our basic game rules for any new players who may be coming up or any experienced players who may just want a refresh. So going straight into our basic hit rules here. If you're shot anywhere on your person, including your rifle, you'll raise your arm in the air and you'll shout hit. Every player will have their team armband with their colour on it. Now when you're hit, a 3-minute timer will start. You have 3 minutes for a teammate to come and switch the armband from one arm to the other. That way, you're back into the game. If after those 3 minutes you have not been revived by your teammates, you are said to have bled out. You will either return to your base, you will go to a nearest alive teammate who is not currently engaging the enemy, or you will go 25 meters away from the action and respawn. One big point, hit players do not talk. When you are hit, you are dead. So you cannot tell your team where the other players are, cannot tell them anything that will advantage them. All you can say is your team colour and medic, so blue medic or red medic. When you are hit, you should stand up to make it clear. If you stay crouched behind a barrier whilst you're hit, the enemy may not know and they can still keep shooting at you. Here at the site, depending on the weather, we do use pyro grenades. Now these have a 5-meter kill radius, which can only be prevented by hard cover, such as a building or a barrier. Bushes are not hard cover, and if you are in that 5-meter radius, you are dead. Now once you die to a grenade, it's a little bit of a different rule. So you will have your hand up for the 3 minutes, but you cannot be revived. You have to stand there for the 3 minutes, and then once you're done, you bleed out, either back to your base, to your teammate, or 25 meters away from the action. Now, moving on to some of our basic safety rules. Anytime you enter the game zone, you'll be required to wear eye protection, such as I've got on here. We always recommend going for a good brand, and if you ever need to, we can always test your eye protection to make sure it's safe and to make sure that you're protected. Another one as well, when you're in the safe zone, when you either come back from a game or you're getting ready to head out, you are not allowed any magazines in your rifle or your pistol. This is to prevent any sort of accidental shots going off, especially when people aren't wearing their eye protection. We do not allow blind firing on this site, which means you cannot point your gun around the corner and not look down your barrel. You need to make sure that you can see exactly what you're shooting at and you're accountable for every shot. Now, we do not allow full auto within 10 meters of an opponent. This is to prevent somebody getting overshot, and it will be single shot only within 10 meters. Now, one of our most important rules here in the site is our ceasefire call. If you hear the shout for ceasefire whilst you are playing a game, you need to put your rifle on the floor, hands in the air, and wait until you hear instructions from a marshal. We could shout for a ceasefire for any reason. It could be a medical emergency, it could be an injury. There's various reasons, but you put your rifle on the ground, hands in the air, and wait for instructions from a marshal. Now, for any sort of issues that you may be experiencing out in the field, we have dedicated marshals who will be wearing high-vis vests, and you can approach them with any issues that you may have, or any of our experienced players are always happy to help. Thank you very much for watching this short video on our basic rules and safety. We do have a few more rules up here at the site, but one of our dedicated marshals will go through that at the start of the day in our safety brief.